Hey everyone, hope you're all doing well. I hope you're having a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good wherever you are and whatever is going on. I just hope you are good. I hope you're safe. I hope you are well taken care of. All right. I've been promising this video for a while now, haven't I? I talked about this weekend on my previous video, said that this was going to be coming, and here it is. I am going to talk about my mining shed. I'm going to talk about the project. I'm going to talk about where I'm at, what I've done, what my logic was, choices I've made, and I'm also going to get into my solar array that I ended up putting in, which is just finishing up. In fact, I should be getting final on it tomorrow. So the electrician was just here, getting some plaques installed and getting that good to go so we can get through our final inspection. Fortunately, electric company has already signed off on it, so that's good news. Trying to offset these costs. So in this video, I'm going to start by kind of talking about where I was and why my wife and I, when we were talking about our mining farm and what we're doing, decided that we needed to go ahead and build out a mining shed. I'm going to talk about some of the ideas we had behind the mining shed, some of the decisions that we made. I'll explain the materials that we got, our reasoning for those materials, and I will also be talking about our costs. So we'll go ahead and get through that, and then we can jump outside. I'll probably just take the camera, we can run outside, take a short look at the solar array, and talk about the solar system and why I put it in, what's going on there, what size it is, and all that kind of fun stuff. All right. I first started mining years ago on a gaming computer, mining Bitcoin, little bits and pieces here and there. Wasn't serious about it. As the position my wife and I are in financially has changed over the years, I've started looking more and more seriously at building some kind of a mining rig, doing a mining farm. And I think it was late 2020 was when we kind of made that decision, made that commitment, and started doing it. And we were very lucky. We got our first rig up and online before the craziness of 2021. We were starting to mine Ethereum, and then everything just went bonkers, right? Things were going to the moon, coins were up everywhere, profits were rolling in. We immediately rolled those over into a second machine, which became a third machine, which became a fourth machine. It just exploded, and we were so ecstatic about it. I've got a gaming computer that's got 2 cards in it I'm mining. I've got a machine that this is sitting on that's mining. I've got a Vega 56 card that is propping up my phone that I should probably be working on right now, but instead I'm bringing this video to you. So, as we were expanding and as it's all going on, we started rolling things out from the my office, my home office, which was fine to have it in, but after the first one started getting more and more cars, started getting hotter and hotter. We put it out in the garage. Our garage, it is a finished garage, it's insulated, and we're in Southern California, which is normally pretty, I'll say temperate. We do get some, I'd say 2 weeks of about high 90s, maybe 100 degrees, and that's where we hit a problem. Last summer, it just got cooking in our garage. At the time, we had 3 of these units in there. And between the outside temperature and the heat that these things put off, it was really uncomfortable in the garage. I didn't take temperature readings. I didn't have a smart thermometer, which I did install in the mining shed, and we'll get to that here soon. But it was hot. It was very hot, and so we kind of came to the decision that we could not do another summer like that, and we have committed to mining. My plan is to mine until all these cards are dead, and if everything goes well, I'll be replacing them as they die. If everything's not going well, I'm just going to mine until they're dead. So we'll see how that kind of works. But we decided we had to have another place to house our mining equipment. So we started building our mining farm. I shouldn't say my farm, mining shed. Wanted to keep costs down because, of course, we're not looking to spend money. We are looking to make money. That's what all of us miners are doing. We're wanting to make money. So I wanted to keep my costs low. I went with a pretty small shed. In retrospect, might have wanted to go a little bit larger. We landed on an 8x8 shed. dimensionally, it works very easy to build. You have 2 sheets of plywood, 4x8 side by side, gets you that 8x8 area. We went with treated 4x6s for our foundation and treated 2x6s, kind of running in between. Of course, my fan is going to kick on. Well, one of them is kicking on. And so then we went, like I said, with some plywood sheeting on top of that, 2x4 walls all around, insulated with, I think it's, I want to say it's R13. I don't remember, but insulated all of them. And then the roof, we went with a solar radiant barrier on some OSB plywood. And again, it's one of those things of there is so much solar radiation, so much heat coming in. That's what I mean by radiation, just that heat. I want to cut down on that. I want to make sure as little of that's getting into the mining shed as possible. Now, obviously, I am looking with fans all over the place and vents down here. I'm not trying to actively cool this. I'm trying to passively cool. I want to constantly turn over the air in here. It's about getting new air in, old air out, and hopefully that will keep everything cool enough. Speaking of that, during the winter here when I first got this thing built and first started moving the mining farm out here, it was cold, and I had 2 vents down here. The vents were 14 by I think 18 or 14 by 20, something like that, and that was fine. It stayed cool. I could tell that there was a heavy negative air pressure inside here. When that fan kicked on, it was a struggle to close the door. It just was sucking it in. Since then, we've had some hot weeks here, a couple of pretty warm days where it's 90, and immediately I saw this was not working. One time I saw, using one of the reasons I bought this thing, a Wi-Fi thermometer, smart thermometer put out here. I started seeing that inside the shed here, we were getting days that it was 115, 120 degrees. It was just cooking. So had to get some more vents in. Wasn't sure if that was gonna be enough. Fortunately, it has been. I added 2 more vents. They're each 14 by 24, and found some 14 by 30 vent filters that work perfect. I just kind of slide them up into the cavity where the insulation is, and then they just drop down. They're held in place perfectly, so that ended up working really well. And with those, I'm not getting over temperatures of 85 out here, even with days that are 90. It'll be interesting to see when we hit that really hot couple of weeks, if temperatures are 95, 100 degrees, what is that going to do for the cooling inside here? But I'll have to get back to you when that time comes. All right, as far as some of the materials, like I said, I wanted to keep it very simple, very cheap. 2x4s for the walls, T111 siding, very standard, very basic stuff. Ended up going with just a very simple steel door from Home Depot. Very inexpensive. It was a pre-hung door, simple to get a cutout in, frame it, throw the door in. Wanted to go with steel, give a little added layer of security and protection out here. I did also do some other things. I've got like Arlo cameras and other sensors to detect movement, motion. I just wanted to make sure that whatever's out here is safe, or at least I'm going to get a notification right away if anything happens. I will give a hot tip here. Windows. Amazon. Amazon has killer deals on the windows. They're prime, they're really inexpensive. I used 2 in a shed I built years ago for just tools and things like that, outside stuff, lawnmowers, all that kind of good stuff. And they found these windows on there. I think each window was like $60 for that one. This one's a little large. I want to say it was $70. But prime, delivered, warranties, super easy. It's perfect. It hangs very easy. No issues. We did do a bit of an upgrade on the floor. Just went with some LVP luxury vinyl planking. The cheapest stuff I could find at Home Depot is what we put in here. Obviously, I drywalled the inside of the shed here, both to kind of keep it a little bit cleaner, also to kind of seal away all that insulation. and give it a more finished feel, which we ended up painting. The paint, gotta say, it was a great deal. I walked to the paint counter at Home Depot and I was like, hey, do you have any paint that someone's left here they don't want that you can sell at a discount? And they hooked me up. I only needed a gallon, but I got I think it was a 5-gallon bucket of this paint that I don't know what I'm going to do with. But it was cheaper than buying a gallon in any color I wanted. So awesome! Thank you, Home Depot. Some other things that I was going to mention. I did put a light in overhead. Again, cheapest light I could find, just a cheap strip LED light from Home Depot. Shelving, Home Depot, got it on sale there. I think it was like a $160 shelving unit. In total, for all the stuff for the shed, from the siding to the foundation, like the concrete piers, the sheeting, T111 siding, the asphalt shingles on the top, the tar paper, all of it, $1,656, $1,656. It was a killer deal. Again, a lot of things I was looking for what is the cheapest I can find that meets the requirements I have, what meets my needs. So I highly recommend that. Again, as long as you make sure you've got some good ventilation, good fans, hopefully that will take care of you and you'll be very happy with whatever it is you end up building. All right, that being said, let's jump outside. I'll kind of do a quick little walk around on the outside of the shed, and then we can go take a look at the solar array. All right. Other things I would suggest too, for the deadbolt here, for the lock, what I ended up doing was I used some big 3-inch screws to go ahead and screw that in there. I want something that is going to give some resistance if someone's trying to kick a door down. Again, I am just looking to try to make it as difficult as possible, or to make sure that I can catch someone in the act if something's going on. On the outside here, just a simple little light out here. You can see the door, simple little A-frame peak. And if we walk around here, you can see some of the ventilation. There's the 2 smaller vents that I originally had put in. And over here on this side, in the front, there's one of the other vents. And over on the side here, you can see the other vent there. What else was there? I did give the roof a little bit of an overhang just to keep the water off, make sure we have some nice water protection from all of this. Oh, tree here. So this tree wasn't here before. I added the tree in as well to try to give some shade for the shed. It actually does get some shade, of course, wrong time of day. Does get some shade on this wall, which helps us out some with the heating issues. And I know in the future, especially as this tree gets larger, it's a California pepper, it's going to grow pretty quick. I would say in a year or two, I'll have some nice shade and overhang on the shed to give it some more protection from the heat. All right, solar. Let's go take a look at this. So, again, I'm in a position where with these different, first of all, here in Southern California, our electric costs are ridiculous. So I've been running into bills running these things of $1,200, $1,300 a month. It has been outrageous. So what we did is we put in a giant solar system, huge array. It's 36 panels. And our electrician, Jason at Custom Touch Electric, did a phenomenal job for us, got us a really good price, beat out all the other companies I talked to. So big hookup there. Thank you. That was awesome. And I'm unbelievably happy with this system here. Let's see. So the system is on the hillside, kind of facing mostly south, kind of southeast a little bit. Southwest would have been ideal, but we just didn't have the placement. It is all set up on micro inverters. So we have basically this little in-phase thing, and then we've got our panel back there. It was a 14 kilowatt hour system, and right now I'm getting peak performance, basically negative 11,500 kilowatt hours, which is just amazing. Or I don't even know how to, maybe it's 11.5 kilowatt hours. I don't know. I'm not an electrician. I don't pretend to be. What else was there? As far as the cost for the electricity here inside the shed. All right. Basically, the way that we set it up was our electrician. We had room on our main panel. I was concerned I might have to upgrade, but fortunately, there was still some room there. The solar system that you saw out there, that's actually our second one. The first one that's on the roof of the house was offsetting all of our own personal costs, but it didn't do much of anything to try to offset the cost of these guys. So that took a lot of space in the panel, and then this future solar for the panel, solar system took a lot of space in our main panel. But we did have room to go ahead and run a basically 60 amp sub panel, and so we got that pulled, ran out to the shed here, and that's what everything's kind of running on here. Let's see. I talked with him a lot, and again, you got to talk to your electrician. You got to have an electrician you know and trust. I was talking to him a lot about what I should be running, 15 amp versus 20 amp. And so it's actually set up so that it's on 20 amp breakers inside the breaker box, the sub panel here. But each of the outlets are 15 amps. And then we've got a couple of different types of surge protectors that we've put in. We've also put a I forget what it's called, like an in-relay surge protector or something like that, to go ahead and give us some protection as well. Obviously, if you're investing, thousands, tens of thousands of dollars into this, you've got to make sure that you are taking care of it, that you're going to protect it, and minimize any potential risks or damage that they could suffer. Anyways, let's see. That kind of covers the shed, kind of covers the solar panels, some of the choices that we made out here. The cost on the electricity. Okay, so for running the electrical here inside our shed, I don't remember the exact price. I want to say it was around $1,600 to $1,800 to get the sub panel, the pole, the sweeps, all that kind of stuff. I did do the trenching myself, and also cut out the asphalt myself. Something to think about. If you are handy, go to your local equipment rental yard. I went down there, got a concrete cutter. It cost me like $100 to use for half a day. I was able to cut out the a passage to the asphalt, and then I also rented again for half a day. I think it was like $100 a trencher. I trenched everything from the shed over to the house. So all he had to do was just drop the sweeps in. I buried it all. Saved quite a bit of money going that route. Same with the shed. I gave you that $600. That's the cost of materials. This was something I did. Fortunately, I'm fairly handy. I also have a lot of people in my family that are handy. So my dad and my father-in-law both came down and helped out. And between us, just swinging the hammers, working the drill motors, we were able to get this thing put up. And had a couple of big rainstorms so far. Of course, very nervous the first one, but it's held up very well. Haven't had any issues with it, so got lucky on that. But always be trying to think, what is it I can do? And if you don't know what you can do, check out YouTube. You're on it right now. Take a look at it, see what you can do, see what you can learn how to do. No one knows when they are born how to swing a hammer, how to build a shed, how to do electrical. I won't do electrical myself. There's just no way. I'm not going to play with that snake and get bit. But there are a lot of things that you can jump on YouTube and watch tutorials. There are so many tutorials on how to build a shed, how to plan to build a shed. Plans for sheds are available online for free. You can go look up that will walk you through how to build it, what materials you need to purchase. Find something you can work with, modify it as you need to, and run with it from there. Try to, again, keep the cost down, because we are not in this to spend money. We are in it to make money. So always remember, we are here to make money. We're not here to spend money. All right, I'm almost at 20 minutes. I've got to wrap this up here. If at any point you have questions, you have thoughts, concerns, ideas, anything you want to know about what I did here, my reasoning for it, do hit me up in the comments down there. Let me know. I would be glad to answer those questions for you. And hey, if it's a really good question that I think needs a video about it, I will do it that way. I'll get a response back to you. Otherwise, Thank you very much for coming by, swinging by, taking a look at this video. I hope you got some good information, something that's helpful for you, and I will see you later.